I swear these other podcasts are just a waste of time. I'm skipping through them, I'd rather listen and change my mind. Wes and Nick always help me through my daily grind. Your favorite guys, your favorite lines, change my mind. I swear these other podcasts are just a waste of time. I'm skipping through them, I'd rather listen and change my mind. Wes and Nick always help me through my daily grind. Your favorite guys, your favorite lines, change my mind. Yeah.
You're not fooling anyone by wearing that T-shirt in the pool. Change my mind, Nick.
So you are you talking about if someone is overweight or?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I think some people, they look at it and they say, I don't know. I've never really had that issue. I've never really been that person that wore a T-shirt in a pool.
Well, I'm not asking you personally, but you know, what's?
Yeah, I look at it and I say,
what are they accomplishing?
I feel like they're accomplishing that they're not showing off what their physique looks like to some extent.
But you put something in water and it's going to stick to your body. Rather form-fitting-ish, you know. Yeah,
I mean, look, to me, I look at it as I wish they didn't feel like they had to do that. That's how I feel.
That's how I feel, too. I bring this up because I was just, after a 2-week, hiatus, I finally returned from my honeymoon extravaganza down at Sandals, Bahamas.
And it went well?
It was beautiful. But there were, some heftier middle Americans.
Mm-hmm.
I would
you assume
say
they're
in
from
there.
the Midwest?
I assume so. There was a ton of Midwesterns and Southerners down there. But, there were also people who were also overweight and just kind of rocking it. And, I can say this now, my wife and I, were, commenting, good for those people, just kind of owning it.
There's nothing wrong with it.
You go to the swim-up bar. They had 2 different pools there. One was a party pool. And the swim-up bar where you could just kind of sit down and order your drinks. And, this guy's butt, his whole butt crack was out.
I don't need
no
that.
T-shirt on, but he was out there just rocking it and owning it,
Don't need to see the ass crack.
No, it's just there. But the T-shirt, I would even see, not even overweight guys, really. Just, maybe got a little beer gut or something like that, I guess an exaggerated dad bod, if you will.
Okay.
Wearing the T-shirt, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, I mean, no one cares. Everybody's worried too worried about their own self-image to worry about yourself.
Exactly.
To worry about you. Yeah, just do your thing. That's my recommendation to anybody who feels like they need to wear a shirt at the pool. But I'm not going to think less of them if they do it. I just feel bad for them.
I want the third man's voice in the opinion here.
Why do we need Tim's opinion? What are you trying to say?
Can the fat guy chime in on that?
Yes, please.
Nobody called you fat.
It was implied.
Mm-hmm.
It was implied by my large stomach. I do not wear a shirt in the pool.
Good man.
But I did. I used to also cast the same aspersions on people. And then I found out it's because there's people that have a very high sensitivity to the chemicals in the pool. So they have to wear the shirt to kind of...
Oh.
It just seems coincidental to me that all those people with the sensitivities are overweight.
Right. Yeah, so I feel like that might be a cop-out.
But my son, even when he was, this little skinny kid, he had to wear a rash guard because the chemicals in the pool would cause him to break out.
Okay.
Really?
All right, that's fair
they
enough.
sell those rash guards now. A lot of people wear them at the beach.
Never even heard of that before. At the beach?
Well, anytime they're in water, people will wear a rash guard. And it looks like half of a swim, like a neoprene diving suit or surf suit,
I never.
Okay.
You get a rash from going in the water?
Mm-hmm.
I never heard of that in my life.
Yeah, well,
some people do.
You ever heard of prickly heat?
No.
Dude, I got sunburn one time and
Prickly heat?
It was the most uncomfortable. I had a sunburn and my skin was itchy.
Oh no, yeah, I've had that before. Yeah, and it's like an insatiable itch.
Prickly heat sounds like a Lay's flavor that they're testing out.
Yeah, it sounds actually kind of delicious.
I'll tell you what, it didn't feel that way when I was a kid.
I know, yeah.
I don't know what the real term for is, but that's what I was told it was. Oh God!
Well, I had no base tan going down to the Bahamas, so my first 2 days there, on top of just getting hammered.
Mm-hmm.
I was also getting a massive amounts of sun poisoning.
Sun poisoning?
That's not legit sun poisoning.
But you were getting burnt pretty good.
But it didn't matter. And the sunscreen that my wife has is SPF 2. You know, and she's Portuguese and Italian, so like she just kind of turns like a nice bronze skin.
It's cheating.
And I'm Irish. I got a little bit of Italian in me.
Yeah,
but it's mostly Irish, English, milky whiteness.
The Irish and English is going to... I mean, look at me. I'm Portuguese. I'm 50% Portuguese.
Right. I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, the Irish and English overpowers it immensely.
It does,
How does it feel saying your wife, by the way? Have you got used to that?
So I've gotten used to it. I've had the opportunity. I much rather much prefer the wife than fiance.
Fiance is such a stupid word.
Oh yes,
Fiance.
I feel like yes.
And then she's
up.
technically not supposed to call you her fiance.
So I'm a fianceur.
No, males are a fiance,
A fiance.
and females are a fiance.
Fiance.
Oh.
Yes, and that's why they each
French.
have one E. But the funny thing is, they both have the accent aigu, the accent grave. I forget which one it is, but they both have the same accent over the E, which means that fiance should also be fiance.
Oh.
But it would be a little bit shorter. It'd be fiance instead of fiance.
Did you study French?
I did.
Okay.
It's showing right
But
there.
people still say
He's
fiance.
just flexing. Yeah.
Did you study Spanish?
I was a Spanish. Yeah.
So we got 3 languages between us. 'Cause
You
I
got
got
Portuguese?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't mean I can speak it very well.
I tried to take Spanish, but the class was full, so I ended up in French.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Come
Then
table
I-
too?
Then I just stuck with it. What?
Right? Come table too? How
Don't know if
are
I'll
you?
French.
Comment allez-vous?
Yes, that's it.
I don't know.
I was trying to think of this. I said that exact line the other day, and I was trying to come up. Now, Tim, I feel like you would know this. There used to be like a PBS style commercial, Rosetta Stone, learn to speak French, kind of book on tape sort of thing, and it had like a Muppet style spokesperson who was like kind of like in like a Muppet suit or like Sesame Street suit, and I want to say it was like Fuzzy or like Mozzie.
Fuzzy, like the characters?
Yeah, that was like the name of it. And it would be like a fun way for kids to learn French.
I've
And
never heard that
I
before.
just
Sounds
like I have
vaguely familiar.
a distinct memory of this commercial, but I can't think of it.
It sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah,
You'll know
That's,
say.
That was
yeah.
before. That was
Portuguese for you
before.
for I don't know.
I got that one. Well, that's also
That was before
Spanish.
Dora the Explorer like found a way to infiltrate America. With
No,
all
this
of
is
the
like
Spanish
early
words.
'90s, late '80s type of thing.
Did that movie come out already?
No,
It did, didn't it,
did
Dora?
it?
Did
I think
it?
it already came and went.
We should have done a review of that. We got to find a movie that none
like
of
a
us
bad review.
Yeah, like one that we just wouldn't like. It may still be a good movie, but one we definitely, or more than likely, won't like and talk about that.
Okay.
So people can see that we don't like everything.
But
Well,
it doesn't have to be Dora the Explorer. Though,
You
to
don't
do
like-
that.
Well, yeah.
oh, you mean we're not saying you have to go see it. You never go see the movies anyways. You always wait till like we've spoiled.
Sometimes
it
I
for you.
go see them if they're good enough.
Didn't you wait forever on Spider-Man?
Yeah,
Was that good enough?
I'm glad I saw it at home.
Oh, speaking of which, you're gonna want to see the Joker. Try to see it as soon as possible because we may do that next episode.
Thank you, Firestick.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there we go. That's perfect. So
Anyways.
I'm not going to announce the number of the podcast here because I heard that was a little thing last week.
Apparently,
You don't need to number your podcast.
Well, I think that it's a fair point, but it was.
and the titles we do. Apparently, that's the rule. Tim's got rules now.
Okay.
Yes,
Well,
Man in Chair is now drawing a line.
well,
in
he's
the
the
sand.
producer. He's making
I'm
everything
just-
happen.
I'm
He's
just
wheeling and
giving you-
dealing.
I'm just giving you suggestions of how to grow. You know, having numbers is fine if you think you're not going to make it past like 20. But when you make it into the 30s and into the 40s, you know, by that point you can say we don't need to number it anymore.
Okay, this is a regular thing. This is happening.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's been.
We're official. We're going steady.
We've been. I'd say we've been going steady for a while now. Yeah.
Sign of graduation.
Yeah,
you know?
every
like
episode,
that,
every
okay.
episode number, I'm always like, going, how long? What?
I know it always kind of shocks me a little bit. So, but this is the illustrious return of the 3 original members of the Change My Mind podcast. Wesley Sykes, across from me as always, Mr. Nick Fryer.
No,
I got
fancy-
nothing this week. I'm telling you, I'm still like my brain is still alcoholed out, and then the resident guy in the chair, Tim Weisberg. So I'm just slowly, drying out my liver and my brain.
Oh, okay.
So we're on the live stream, beautiful live stream, 1420 WBSM AM. I think I screwed some of those letters up, but
No, you got it right.
no, it's all in there.
YouTube channel though. Don't
Yes.
forget that
Oh,
part.
yes, and the YouTube channel.
Geeks Worldwide,
Yeah.
SoundCloud.
Anywhere where you want to, download and listen to consume your podcast, we're there. I got a free form format today.
I'm excited for this.
Perhaps I'm not sure if I can say this with you in the room, but perhaps even an agenda-free Monday.
Other people use a gender-free Monday.
You've heard that before?
Yes, I've heard that before. Yes, I have. Yes.
But so that essentially means that we were too lazy to come up with a topic.
Well, I mean, if you look at last episode, Tim and I did one bit of news, and then we just went off and talked for an hour and a half or whatever the hell it was about comic stuff. So I think there's been a lot of news. There's been one particular thing that's important that we need to devote time to. So.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of news. We got a brand new Drinking Buddy segment, which I'm very excited for.
This is a good one.
We got a couple of things of what's been on our minds since we've been separated for so long. So I think between all of those good things, of course, your comic book minute as well. I think that'll be plenty to fill an episode.
We want to try and stay, not around the 2-hour mark this time, too, like we did last time, which was pretty bad.
Well, and we would even get to that a lot as well.
Yes.
Or in the early goings. But now that we're cracked the 20s.
Well, the thing is, we have you here to help steer the ship. When you're not here, I'm the only one that steers the ship, and then I get crap for it afterwards.
AKA the Time Lord, Wesley Sykes. That's it. But let's get right into the news.
Did you hear me over there, Sparky?
I think he chose to ignore you.
I'm multitasking.
Oh, you're multitasking. Okay, good. Well, you're sucking at one of them.
This is the point in time where I said you cut the conversation so I can get back into it. Say this, right? This is what we're doing. This is why I'm here. I'm back now.
Exactly.
Someone else who's back. Spider-Man in the MCU.
Damn right he is.
That's a hell of a segue to pull that off, right?
Yes.
We're back in this. So
well
Sony
done,
and Marvel has come to an agreement that the untitled Spider-Man 3 movie is once again back in the fold of the MCU to complete the Marvel trilogy.
Thank God.
Additionally, Marvel also can use Spider-Man in one more movie.
Mm-hmm. One
your
that
Civil,
he's not
your
in the
Civil
title.
Wars, your Avengers, your maybe your Doctor Strange and the Multitude of Madness, or
the
Multiverse of Madness, which I thought would be kind of cool because I liked how they kind of played off each other in Avengers.
Yeah, that could work.
Definitely interesting.
Very happy about this because honestly, Wes, when it all broke, when it all first happened,
it didn't seem surreal.
Yeah,
or it didn't seem real. It felt surreal.
It did not seem real. But at the same time, I didn't think about the fact that we got this crazy cliffhanger in Far From Home with Mysterio and then his name getting revealed and everything.
Right.
So I'm just thinking on the general sense of, God damn it, Sony's such a pain in the ass. Now we're not going to have Spider-Man with all the other superheroes in Marvel and all this crap, and it's just like the X-Men all over again. I didn't even think about the fact that we were never going to get an answer for how they were going to respond. Like, how was Sony going to take care of that? They probably weren't. They would have butchered it for sure.
And they just turned over the keys to the MCU universe from Tony Stark to Spider-Man. I mean, that was like kind of the whole point of Far From Home.
Yep. Yeah. So now they can't fully turn the keys over, but they have room to at least put a bow on that, make some adjustments where it's a transition, and he's not. I mean, I gotta imagine they're gonna try and make it like, all right, you're awesome and everything, but you're not the guy now,
right?
Because you can't. I mean, he's gone.
Well, there's been some speculation about this is an opportunity to write out Spider-Man properly after leaving everyone on a cliffhanger.
Exactly.
How do they go about doing that and kind of giving him a proper, outage of the MCU?
Do you think they give him the axe? Or
I don't think so, because I think now obviously the precedent is set in the comic book world that you can kill someone off and bring them back, right? There's like no real rules against that, obviously. But I think he means too much. I don't think they'll kill him off, but I think maybe he goes off to a different dimension or something, and then you just don't hear from him. Like, I don't know.
I'm thinking they maybe give him a shot to like be an actual kid somehow.
Oh yeah, they just like let him hang it up.
You know, would be a way you could do that. Is
pulls an old Sandy Koufax. He's like, I'm good.
There you go. Yeah.
So retire on top.
You know what you could do is if you're worried about him being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and taking care of New York above all else. There were probably a few superheroes who you could just throw into New York and say, hey, Spidey, we got this. You go be a kid. Like, I don't know, maybe somebody named Daredevil or Luke Cage.
Huh?
Some of these characters. Jessica Jones. Still haven't watched season 3, by the way, speaking of shows that they're out there to watch.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I that's one I have no desire to watch.
No.
Zero buzz.
As I've said many a time.
Very much out on that.
Screw Marvel Netflix movies. John Watts, director of the last 2 Spider-Man MCU films, is now in talks to direct the Spider-Man 3 one again, so things are kind of falling back into place a little bit. Spider-Man 3 is slated to come out July 16, 2021, which is smack dab in the middle of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, set to come out in May 7th of 2021, and then right after, or right before Thor: Love and Thunder, which comes out in November that year.
Nice. Love and Thunder.
But this also kind of comes on the heel, so Sony's in the works to develop a Madam Web movie, and they're reportedly hiring the same writer for the Morbius movie. So, Sony seems dead set on creating this Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
You got Venom 2 and everything. So remember when all this stuff came out and I said there's something like 900, there's a report there's like 900 characters inside the Spider-Man world?
900?
Something along, it was something like
absurd.
some large number, whatever it was. It was shocking to one.
Anything over 100 is kind of absurd, I would think.
Madam Web was one of them. That didn't now I was actually went back and watched Into the Spider-Verse again because that's supposed to be Aunt May, right? She's Madam Web.
Okay, I didn't know. I'm not like a Spidey guy, so
I believe so. So in Into the Spider-Verse where she unlocks the shed and then she has that whole kind of Batcave thing going on.
Okay,
and they meet Spider-Ham and Spider-Man Noir and all those other people. That she's supposed to be Madam Web, and she's supposed to be kind of like a tech person. So that was my understanding.
Alter ego here on Wikipedia is Cassandra Webb.
Okay, so no, yeah, I'm not right at all.
But they take liberties all the time. So who knows? Maybe that's who she was supposed to be, and they didn't want to go and create this other character in the course of it and confuse us all. But look, when it comes to this, the thing about Spider-Man is he can go and have his own universe and be very successful. He's one of those few characters that could. And the X-Men are the other ones that could if Fox didn't just screw them up time after time after time. But I don't want to see that when you have all the other Marvel stuff going on. I want him involved. And the thing that's so dumb about the Sony stuff is, yes, Venom can have his own movies. I agree with that 100%. Was Venom this crazy, amazing movie? No. But was it enjoyable? Absolutely.
Yeah, it was there.
Fine. But I think it's like a B movie, but it's I had fun with it. I didn't go in expecting this endgame type thing. Yeah. But who the hell else are you going to be able to do that with in all the Spider-Man stuff? You can't put Daredevil in there as much as they buddy up a lot. You can't say that. Deadpool you can't do that with as much as they buddy up a lot. Yeah. It's really just Venom. That's the only other... Carnage can't carry his own movie. He's friggin' nuts. He can only be a villain. No,
but you have the Morbius movie. You have the Madam Web. Maybe you have Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Morales you can. That's a good point. That's 3. I don't think Morbius... As much as he has his own movie... So they're putting their faith in Jared Leto with a superhero character.
Yeah, we saw how great that worked out.
Yeah,
before.
That works out. Yes, that works out phenomenally. So, no, I don't trust Sony with this crap. I don't trust that their Madam Web movie is going to be any good. Maybe you could do a Black Cat. I don't know, but I don't know the character all that well. So she has her own comic. That's it. That's all I know.
The biggest repercussions, I think, of all this now is the villain aspect. I think the conversation of the MCU having a villain problem has been long overstated. And that's been a long conversation. Spider-Man has some great villains.
Some of the
best.
And
how it pertains to the MCU is interesting because we keep waiting to hear. What am I thinking of?
Fantastic Four?
No. Who's the Green Goblin?
Oh, yep.
The father there. Why am I thinking?
Norman Osborn.
Yes, thank you. Osborn and Oscorp were supposed to be the next big, local, grounded, non-cosmic villain.
Gotcha. Yep.
He was supposed to be buying, the Stark Towers, and you were kind of waiting for that to kind of come, and he was going to be maybe an Iron Patriot and kind of usher in, was it the Dark Avengers, I think is the thing?
That sounds right. I'll look it up real quick. But either way, yes, the Iron Patriot.
He was supposed to be, and then you think of the ability to use maybe Kraven the Hunter in a Black Panther movie or some sort of crossover with Spider-Man, and that's now out the window. Yeah, so there's a good opportunity for some of these other villains to be worked into the MCU that just aren't just cosmic entities, Galactus, Doctor Doom, that sort of thing.
I'm not finding him for... Oh, no, yeah, leaders. He was a leader of the Dark Avengers at one point.
Yeah, so yeah.
So was Luke Cage at one point, apparently, too, according to Wikipedia. But anyway,
wow.
But yeah, Spider-Man, when you look at the individual characters and their individual superheroes and their rosters of villains, whether it's DC or Marvel... I think Spider-Man and Batman are the two best. Yeah. But now you have the X-Men coming in. They have an outstanding cast of villains too, especially with Magneto. You have Omega Red. There are plenty of villains there you can tap into. And then, like I said, Fantastic Four. As much as I give them crap, I'm not a big Doctor Doom fan, but everybody loves Doctor Doom.
But yeah, he seems to be the consensus best.
Yes, everybody seems to think he is the guy. I mean, I would say it's probably as much as The other two are kind of anti-heroes. It's him, Magneto, and Venom, I think, are Marvel's best characters you see with some level of frequency. Like Thanos is like a next level type of entity.
Right.
And Loki, yes, is fun, but do you feel like when you look... Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, I had to go remind myself in the Avengers, like, when I watched the original Avengers and, like, how much of a bad guy he was. Mm-hmm. Because, like, after then, he's, like, kind of like a joke and, like, hey, don't hurt me. What, you know?
Yeah.
Come on, you love me. Right?
Yeah,
like,
I would say Thanos probably walks away as the best. I mean, Thanos is definitely the best villain of the Infinity Saga. Number 2 is...
That's tough. I still like Vulture.
Yeah, I mean, Vulture's fine. I'd have to think about that. I'd have to think about that whole thing. Hela's pretty good, too.
Yeah.
She was freaking nuts.
But, I think you just miss out on some opportunities there.
Yes, you do miss out on some, but...
Also in Marvel, Marvel is searching for a, quote, Jewish Zac Efron type to play Moon Knight, which seems like a very narrow niche.
It's immensely specific. Yeah. Go ahead, Tim.
And also somewhat offensive.
Right, yeah. Well, because Zac Efron is Jewish, by the way.
Right, but
is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At least according to the article.
And
this is a Geeks Worldwide exclusive from Thomas Polito.
Yep.
But to say that it has to be a Jewish character a Jewish actor based on where they're trying to go with the story.
Mm-hmm. Right. So I think Mark Spector is a son of rabbi.
Yes.
In the comic books.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that you have to have a Jewish actor.
Right. No.
Basically, what they're saying is that Jewish people have a look.
Yes.
And they're looking for somebody that has the look of a Jew.
Mm-hmm. Well, now
so you have to have a big nose, big ears.
Are you
be good with money?
You are you half Jewish? I don't even. How does that work?
The bottom half.
Okay.
I'm circumcised.
Okay, so you're half Jewish, but like the thing is, I was always told growing up that Judaism is a faith that's not an ethnicity. Is it an ethnicity?
It's one of those things that's actually a little. It's both.
It's both.
It's both.
So then...
So I say that I come from Jewish ancestry, but I don't come from a Jewish religious background.
So then in that sense, couldn't you argue that Jewish people have a look then? Because like we were talking before about how... English, Irish, any people like of that vein, they have a look in terms of their pasty white skin. Me is a good example. And then you have...
Could be a bit of a drinking problem.
Maybe, but then you got the Italian...
Next you're going to say Neil Diamond can't make a Christmas album, but he makes one of the top-selling Christmas albums of all time.
Is he Jewish?
Yes.
Okay. I don't care, but I mean, we see it happens in TV all the time, Tim. Like,
yeah, I don't. I think that it's just. I think it's. I'm not saying that it offends me personally.
Of course, it doesn't offend you.
I'm just saying that I think that it's a little ridiculous to limit yourself like that.
Well, they'd preferably want someone of Israeli descent too. I'm not sure if that changes anything.
Oh,
Natalie Portman's of Israeli descent.
Yeah, that's what I found. But she's also from Long Island too.
Did you know that that's not even her real name? Were you aware of that?
No.
Natalie Portman's a stage name.
What's her real name?
I don't know if she's ever revealed her real name.
That's a good question.
Well, you looking that up?
But while this is happening,
I don't think it's ever been released.
It's an oddly specific request.
Very oddly specific.
Tim and I are arguing semantics over here in the grand scheme of things.
Her name is Natalie Hirschlag.
Natalie Hirschlag.
Hirschlag is definitely a Jewish name.
Yep, that does not. Yep, that sounds a lot different than Portman.
Natalie Portman rolls off the tongue a little bit easier.
Yes, I would say so.
Oh, yeah, she does.
But when it comes down to this, it's I get it to an extent, but at the same time, it's like what I don't know. I mean, like I have a hard time questioning some of these things because this is how TV works,
right?
Whether it's like entertainment or we're talking, like sports or news, which in some ways it's news, but it's entertainment too. Like they're looking for people with different looks.
Yeah, they want something that will represent their what they're looking for, their aesthetic. So
and diversity and all that stuff too. And I get it, but that's a weird one. Like to say Zac Efron, that's the part that I find so bizarre.
Well, it's funny, funny choice of name, and I wonder if this is, as we like to say, a little on the nose here, because Zac Efron has been rumored in and around different Marvel roles for the last couple of years. They wanted him to play Icarus in the upcoming Eternals movie, which went to Richard Madden. They wanted him to be Adam Warlock in Guardians Volume 3. That hasn't been assigned yet or anything at all. So, if they really do want Zac Efron, like they want him somehow, I think.
But I don't think they'll do it with Moon Knight because Moon Knight is supposed to be a show in the end. And as much as the shows are starting to become just as big as movies in a lot of ways. Marvel still has, like, Marvel movies still have the upper hand on Marvel shows.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I would say the second release of these Disney Plus shows, the Miss Marvel, the Moon Knight, and the She-Hulk, are like your C or D level Disney Plus shows, while like the ones that came, Falcon Winter Soldier, WandaVision.
They'll start out that way, but you watch
No,
She-Hulk
I'm sure
and
it'll
Moon
build
Knight.
up, but I also think like if that was part of their, if they felt as strong about it, they would have announced it earlier.
Right. No,
with
that's
that
a fair
front
point.
slate. That's all I meant by that.
That is a fair point. Well, I can pretend to be from of Israeli descent if that matters. If people are looking for a Moon Knight, I can definitely pull off multiple personality disorder.
Well, here are a couple actors that I put together. Who
okay.
are Israeli Jewish actors. The first one I found was Raviv Ullman, who's 33. He was on Disney's Phil of the Future.
Phil of the Future.
Mostly a TV actor who's been in a couple episodes of Broad City and appeared in Criminal Minds.
Yes, I remember that kid. Okay.
So he's older now. You could, if you go up on his IMDb page, he doesn't look like that kid.
Is that more what he looks like now?
Yep.
Yeah, I could see.
Okay, so maybe. The other one, who is Jewish, James Franco. If he's supposed to be kind of like a split personality, right? Is that what?
Yeah.
I think that would be a really interesting choice. Probably too big of a name for something like this.
That's the only issue
Well,
with him.
you know what you do if you want James Franco, but he's too big of a name.
You get Dave Franco.
You get Dave Franco.
Yeah, there we go. That's it.
Problem solved.
That's half the price, half the acting, half the performance.
Right.
Yeah.
Half the size too, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Another one, Shia LaBeouf.
That, you know what?
Again, a little bit of a troubled soul.
He might just be cracked enough in the head to make it work.
Pull it off. Not too bad.
I think as much as I want the fighting to be part of I mean, it is important in the grand scheme of things. I think the most important thing does have to be the multiple personality portion of it all.
And like once you get the suit, you can throw any stunt double you want in there.
You can, but there are just certain characters and certain actors who's like, I can't imagine you throwing hands like that. You know what I mean? But Marvel does a great job with it.
Like Jessica Jones, for example.
Like Jessica Jones. But in all fairness, we look at it all. Even Iron Fist wasn't great, but in terms of how he moved and everything, it's like, for Finn Jones, And I'm not saying that Chris Evans was necessarily always this big. I mean, he was never this big brawling dude or whatever before. So they've done a good job with everybody other than maybe Jessica Jones. So if they go with LaBeouf, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I usually do. But in terms of the multiple personality stuff, probably the best of the three you've mentioned so far.
Oh, the last one I got is Andrew Garfield.
Oh, yes. I like that.
Who's not bad. I'm not sure if he has the multiple personality range for him, but he's a good actor.
I like him most.
Yeah.
I like him most. Because he's been a superhero before. I know it didn't work out as well in the end, but he wasn't bad, obviously.
He wasn't bad.
In the first Amazing Spider-Man.
He's a little too cool.
A little too cool, and if you tell him to play nuts, I think he'll... I mean, we saw what it was like when Gwen Stacy died.
Right.
He lost it.
Oh, he sure did.
Just, Andrew, I want you to take that, and I want you to just do that the entire time, or at least half the time.
I could do that. Yeah, half the time.
Half the time.
Split, yeah.
He's got three personalities in there. Jake Lockley, Mark Spector, Moon Knight, and then Moon Knight's kind of a separate personality, and then I cannot remember what the other one was, but he's like a movie
You're going to
producer.
hear about this on the Moon Knight threads on Reddit later.
Yeah. Oh.
You're really going to hear it.
Yeah, I can't remember what the other guy's name is.
More Marvel news. Hulu cancels the Ghost Rider series that never even started.
Yeah, what the frig's up with that?
So this version of the Spirit of Vengeance first appeared on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and was supposed to be getting their own series on Hulu, but due to, quote, creative differences, the show is not moving forward. However, the timing of all this is interesting because just 2 days before they announced this, there was rumors swirling around that Kevin Feige wants to use Ghost Rider in the MCU.
He's a character you should use in the MCU. He's way
Johnny
too
Blaze.
powerful.
Yeah.
They want to use Johnny Blaze. Not the other guy.
I thought that was the same thing.
No, there's a
I
different...
thought that was just like a different nickname for him.
No, there's I forget the character who played him most recently. Dude, if I could just... Ghost Rider was... What's the other character's name? It was a Hispanic actor. Robbie Reyes. That's the most recent one in what is it? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh,
and I was under the impression that's the one that we were going to see in Hulu. I thought they were getting the same actor back. But either way, either way, Ghost Rider absolutely should be in the MCU. He's way too powerful. I mean, like, you want to put him in a show because he's not as high profile? Fine. But in terms of power, he's right there with everybody else.
I would imagine it's a lot of money to have that flaming skull.
Yeah, it's probably
A lot
fair.
of CGI.
Yeah, I would think so. I don't think they can really.
So
use
would
props.
they want to use that on Hulu? You know what I mean? Like, use the money where you're going to make it back in the MCU somehow.
Yeah, I think they still got Hellstrom going. Like his show's still going on. Yeah, I would definitely use some of the lesser known characters over on Hulu. I mean, Ghost Rider. Everybody knows who Ghost Rider is.
Yeah.
Not everybody loves Ghost Rider. Part of that's Nick Cage's fault, but
Well, he's a fantastic actor. Don't besmirch Nicolas Cage.
who's the other guy that was technically a Ghost Rider too? He's the old dude who does the Coors Light commercials.
Sam Elliott
Sam Elliott. Thank you.
Oh, he
Yes.
was?
Yeah, you don't remember he was in that movie?
in the Nick Cage movie. Yeah.
Oh no, I don't think I really gave that movie much of a shot.
I think he
Either
was in
one of them.
He was in the first one. The second one
I
is
totally forgot there was even a second one.
the second one is so weird. I mean, that's one. I talk about one that's so terrible. Oh God, that's freaking awful. There was another movie the other day that I watched and I cannot remember. It was a bad movie. Oh. So we did the bad movies that we like.
Yes, yeah.
The Dracula Untold with Luke Evans. Do you guys remember that movie?
I remember hearing about it.
I did. I actually like that movie, and that's a bad movie. It's
So that was the one where they told the whole story of Vlad the Impaler.
yes.
So that was supposed to be the kickoff of the Dark Universe.
That
for
one
the
was?
Universal Monsters.
Like the monster
They-
universe with
when
like
they-
swamp.
when they-
Yeah.
When they came out with that Tom Cruise Mummy, they said they were going to retcon the Dracula Untold to be part of that universe.
Really?
And I guess it doesn't matter now because they're not going
Right.
forward.
Yeah.
With it, so.
No, no one asked for that universe. But
Yeah.
that's not a great movie. It's on FX now on demand or FXX on demand.
FX has the movies. Yeah.
It's not a good movie, but I enjoy it very much. So
I liked it. I didn't think it was that bad.
I don't think it's a good movie. I would probably put it in like the 60s range if I'm being objective.
Certainly not a great Dracula movie.
No, well, that's part of the problem. But anyway,
More news. Birds of Prey. Trailer apparently being released on Tuesday, or is released on Tuesday, depending on when you listening to this podcast.
do they know that we record this on Mondays?
Well, if they do now.
Okay. I told you to send that memo out. You were on your honeymoon, but Warner Brothers should know this. That they shouldn't
should
wait.
Yes.
till
I know.
friggin' Tuesday.
Oh, I thought you meant they, the people, not
No,
they.
no.
Warner
I
Brothers.
was kidding.
Yes.
Are you in on this movie? I forget.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go see it. Whatever. I don't really understand it. The only character I really know is Harley Quinn.
It's Huntress, Harley Quinn, and Black Canary, correct? Or is it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Huntress
there's
is
a couple
pretty cool.
other in there.
Black Mask is in there too.
Right,
But
right.
Huntress is pretty freaking cool too. Black Canary is too. I like all three characters.
I just don't know enough about him. Like, I'm interested in it. It looks kind of cool. You know, it still kind of has that cotton candy kind of aesthetic that Suicide
Quinn.
Squad has.
Harley Quinn. That's part
Yeah.
of it. Yeah. That's part of the issue. But I find it interesting that you're like on this, but you're all in on Joker right now.
Yeah, well, I
think
think
it's
Joaquin
earned that.
Phoenix is a little bit more about that, and I'm more familiar with the Joker story than I am with Harley Quinn.
That's fair. That's fair.
But you can already get, if you're unfamiliar like I am with some of the cast and some of the characters, you can take a look at the Birds of Prey's Twitter or Instagram pages. They have those like promotional posters and pictures out right now. It kind of gives you a little bit of a look at the whole cast. You get a little bit of a teaser spoof during the It Chapter 2 movie, which is just kind of like making fun of it. It's nothing really big. I think it's just Harley Quinn popping a red balloon. Like, it's nothing too big. That was released earlier this month, and now they're just setting up everything to pair Birds of Prey with the release of Joker later this week.
Did you see It Chapter 2?
No, I never did see It Chapter 1.
Hey, when was what was the last scary movie you saw?
I don't know. Get Out, if you want to call that a scary movie.
That is a scary movie in your mind?
No, but I think that was a borderline scary movie. Like, some people would call it that.
Borderline. Tim, would you in any way call Get Out a scary movie?
It was intended to be
scary?
It was intended to be a horror thriller, but with a social commentary bite.
I think
Right, like I would think like Silence of the Lambs isn't really a horror movie, but it definitely has like scary movie tendencies.
It comes down to one thing: is Psycho a horror movie?
There's no blood.
If you consider Psycho to be a horror movie, then Get Out is a horror movie. If you only consider Psycho to be a thriller, then Get Out is a thriller. That's the line of demarcation.
Really?
is Psycho in my mind.
Okay.
I think that's the difference between it's psychological horror. You're not going to see there's not going to be jump scares, although Psycho has jump scares. But like that's not what you're going for with that. You're going for that slow burn, creepy kind of it's scarier because it could be real.
Right.
Kind of scenario.
That's fair.
Horror has been ruined by the
Gore.
blood and guts and gore of everything between Texas Chainsaw Massacre and I would say the others.
Conjuring and Annabelle, both friggin' terrifying. Absolutely. You haven't seen either of them, right?
Well, Annabelle, I feel like is just a female version of Chucky, or isn't there like a doll and like,
It's a little different. I literally just spent the entire weekend with the woman whose family The Conjuring happened to.
That happened to them?
Yes.
So not the Warrens.
The real life Andrea Perron.
We're burying the lead here.
Jeez.
So, how is she?
What do you mean?
Or how is she? How's she doing? What's
Is she
she
still
She's a very
been up
nice
to?
person.
Is she still being conjured?
No. Now her now she talks to aliens. But she's written a whole book series, House of Darkness, House of Light, that tells the whole story, the real story of The Conjuring. Because she said, of course, the Hollywood movie, basically what they did is they took some elements of the actual story, but they had another horror movie script.
And they just kind of blended
it. The two,
so does
combined
she
the two
get
together.
like royalties to that stuff? Like what?
I'm not sure exactly what the deal was that was worked out. I believe that she was under retainer from Universal,
okay,
or whoever it was that put it out. She was under retainer to go out and do like certain publicity for the movie when it came out, but I think that's already passed because the movie's like 5 years old now.
Right, but all the Annabelles and stuff, or is that
not really tied into all that?
It's not tied.
The
okay.
Warrens are more tied into that stuff, and Lorraine Warren just passed away. I think last month. So now her son-in-law Tony kind of manages the Warren estate. But I was also with the Warrens' nephew John Zaffis,
Okay.
who's been a good friend of mine for a long time. But
Shout out John Zaffis.
he's a paranormal investigator in his own right, but he was kind of right at their feet. And actually, if you watch The Conjuring, there's some college kids that they bring in to help them with the investigation before the Warrens kind of come in and take over. Mm-hmm. And it was actually the grown-up, real-life version of those college kids that first introduced me to Andrea and told me the whole Conjuring story
Oh,
years
that's kinda cool.
before
That's
the movie
crazy.
came out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, well, actually, Keith Johnson, he was the first ever Spooky South Coast guest, and he's somebody who helped train me in paranormal research.
Oh, wow. The Conjuring is really
Coming
good.
around Halloween time, we should dive more into this untapped resource that we have to across the table from us.
Well, it'd be nice if we could watch maybe one scary movie. Tim, let's try and find one let's try and find a few that we can run by Wes and see if he'd be interested in at least one.
I would be interested in watching them.
Well, what do you what is it that you don't like about horror movies?
Jump scares, I'm guessing.
I don't like to be scared.
Seriously, my biggest problem about horror movies.
It's just like that's going
I'll
to
be honest with you guys.
My biggest problem with horror movies is that too many of them don't scare me, and I don't think that I'm.
Okay.
That's not me being brave.
No.
That's just me saying that there's just not
me
enough
being
in them.
A vagina, yeah.
There's just not enough in them. If you expose yourself to a lot of horror movies, which you don't, but if you do, a lot of stuff becomes cliche. And so it doesn't really have the same effect that it does.
I see.
But the biggest problem with horror movies is they just can't deliver a good, decent ending.
It's tough to wrap up.
But we'll do an episode where I think I'll say there's 3 horror movies that you have to watch,
Okay.
and so that we can discuss them. And have you ever seen The Exorcist?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever seen Poltergeist?
Yes.
And let's see, what would have to be the third? Give me time to come
The
up with
priest
a third
was really creepy. That guy stayed with me.
one.
And the poltergeist. Where he's like,
Reverend Cain
are
from
you
the second one.
lost, little girl? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
My dad
love
does
Reverend
that,
Cain.
and it just like creeps us all, the whole family out.
Oh,
So all right. So
right.
just to wrap this all up, I do like this idea though.
Yeah,
We'll talk about that later.
Birds of Prey hits theaters February 7th, 2020.
Okay.
That puts a little bow on that.
2020. Okay.
So
Did you
this
go back and
February.
watch that show, the Birds of Prey show on the CW app?
I did not.
I think you'll like it. I think you'll enjoy it.
Isn't that from the early 90s?
No, it's from the mid 2000s.
Mid 2000s. I think I saw stuff about it online though.
It was a spinoff of Smallville, kind of, sort of.
Oh.
But it was very well done. I think you will enjoy it. You're going to be like, why didn't they stick with this?
It's his quota of referencing Smallville. Yeah, I would say it's like 1.5 is the over-under right now.
That's a good point. So
about to hit it.
We're gonna do a whole episode sometime on how Smallville is the best interpretation and the worst interpretation.
Hit the over
of the DC universe all at the same time.
Oh wow,
best and worst.
Best and worst. And but that's
Jonathan Taylor Thomas played Mr. Mxyzptlk, but never named as such.
Why?
Oh,
I don't know.
Probably don't have the rights.
That's a good point. There you go.
Who would hold the rights to that?
Not WB.
Like somebody was like, you know what? There's just a bunch of random letters, and we're gonna claim ownership of them.
Yeah, it could be.
It's a pretty cool name, Mr. Mxyzptlk. Anyway.
Next, the Kingsman trailer. The Kingsman trailer was released. That was a very nice surprise hopping on Twitter and seeing that.
Yeah.
So it's the prequel to the first two Kingsman, which I believe you've seen, or at least seen one of them.
Saw the first one, not the second one.
Okay.
I will see the second one, though.
So, yeah, very much like the first one there. It's starring Taron Egerton, Colin Firth, Samuel L. Jackson, Mark Strong, none of which will be in this prequel.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's
it's
way back.
completely going way back, like 1800 King George type of stuff,
Is
King
that what it was?
Henry, like
Okay.
somewhere along those times. This will be a completely new cast, as I just mentioned, with Matthew Goode playing the leading role. Ralph Fiennes is in it, everyone's favorite villain that shall not be named.
That'd be Rafe Fiennes.
Oh, I have an L in there. Maybe that's
there is an L. He just doesn't pronounce it.
Oh, forget that guy.
It's literally Rafe Fiennes.
I hate him. Rafe? In this culture, you want to be called like one letter away from being called Rape Fiennes?
At least spell it like Rafe LaFrance.
Yeah, something. Yeah, right.
That's my quota for obscure Celtics reference.
The best, yeah.
Yeah.
The modern day Stretch 5, like before Stretch 5 was a thing. I like that.
There used to be this guy, total side note, but there used to be this guy that came up with these great Celtic songs in like the mid-2000s. He would have these like ridiculous, stupid songs.
Okay.
And he had one. He's like, "My name is Rafe LaFrance. This is my funky dance." It was like he had like skits with like Marcus Banks.
Oh,
and
okay.
Perkins and stuff.
Now we're going way back in machine here. Also in this prequel, we're just gonna move on from this here because there's a lot of ass grabbing
His name is spelled like Ralph, and I had no idea.
I know, yeah.
I had no idea that was the guy that played
Rafe
Baltimore.
Fiennes. Yep.
Aaron Taylor Johnson, Stanley Tucci, and Daniel Brohl, who was in Civil War.
With
Zemo.
Yeah, yes.
The trailer looks great. It's online now if you want to go check that out. Last is we're kind of like wrapping up this extended news and notes portion here. Early Joker reviews are in as of 3 p.m. on Monday. Joker is holding a 77% rating on Rotten Tomatoes with 134 reviews. Most I've read or skimmed through highlight different things that are great, specifically the cinematography, the production design, the score, most notably the exceptional performance of Joaquin Phoenix.
Good.
But everything else is like it kind of hits on certain things, but it's all surface level.
I saw Boss Logic. Well, I mean, they have to be like that right now because it's not available for all of us.
Well, no, they're saying the movie does. Like I found some like full on spoiler reviews, which I skimmed through. I didn't really read all of them.
Okay, but I know Boss Logic, the artist that I think everybody pretty well knows now.
Yeah.
He loved the last 15 minutes in particular. He said it was phenomenal cinema.
Really?
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it. The fact that it's the thing for me is I care most about the lead actor. How do they end up doing? And if everybody's saying he's doing well, then I'm going to be fine with it. Then I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think so. I was really curious. That's why I wanted to read a little bit about it. But like, what the deal is? Like, who is essentially Batman in this? If there is a Batman, or who is like the hero and everything? Like, what is he going up against? So it's essentially it takes place in the 1980s New York, where the city is unemployment's high, crime is high. There's a garbage crew strike, so there's trash everywhere.
Garbage crew strike.
Wow. But everyone's morals or like outlook on life is down, except for mayoral candidate Thomas Wayne and late night TV host Murray Franklin, played by Robert De Niro. Which is interesting. Okay, so those are like I haven't seen Thomas Wayne advertised at all in this movie.
No.
So which is very interesting.
So that'll be okay.
So I think that adds like a nice little like some sort of touch, even though this is supposed to be a standalone kind of adjacent from the DC universe.
This is gonna be good.
That
man.
whole Robert De Niro thing is supposed to be that tie-in to the King of Comedy movie.
Yes, yeah. So I heard it was like very much like Taxi Driver and another movie, but there was like that was one of them as well in the King of Comedy. There was like a third one in there that I'm blanking on.
But they're all like Scorsese movies. Right. This is kind of
yeah. So it's like he was like molded after one of those characters essentially.
And the funny thing is out of all of that, like the one thing that you said in there that I wasn't worried about was Joaquin Phoenix's performance.
Yeah.
Like I knew that was going to be really good. It's just everything else that I was worried about.
Right. And some of the reviews I've read that said it touches on like the hot button issues like wealth dispersion, and, like mental health, a couple other things, but it's only on like the surface level. Like it doesn't really.
Oh, good. I
know,
like that.
Yeah.
You go too far in depth on that stuff. I'm not.
Or it doesn't necessarily like wrap it up. The way that this, I think it was a Collider review, said it just didn't really, like it felt like it wanted to be more about that, but didn't really fully hit on it.
Okay.
Gee, if that makes sense.
It does make sense, and I'm okay with that. Personally.
Okay. And lastly,
yep.
Breaking Bad, El Camino Netflix movie. We got that trailer that came out last week. And Stranger Things season 4 teaser trailer.
Which you two are very
excited for.
You're very excited about.
Well, I'm not very excited. Cause I thought there was only going to be 3 seasons. I don't know.
Where did you... Just based on their ages?
Yeah, I just thought coming into this one, like the most recent one, I thought that was going to be it.
That's what they said, right?
I wasn't
time?
I wasn't
That's
trying
what
to.
I thought.
I wasn't trying to like mock him or anything. I've heard many people say. I thought it was a 3-season thing.
Yeah, I just thought that was the deal for it. I don't know. I forget where. Maybe that's just kind of like the Mandela effect going on. Like people just say it.
I think people just think like trilogies are just kind of naturally the thing.
Right, and
Since
the kids are getting to that awkward age too. It's
Since the first season, though, now I haven't watched a minute of it, but I remember when it first came out, they were like, "There's only going to be 3 seasons," and I didn't hear that from you, and I didn't hear that from Tim.
Right? Yeah, I just thought that was like common knowledge.
Yeah, I thought Tim was just mocking you in a sense, saying, like, why would you think they'd stop at 3 when it's been so successful? Why wouldn't they go with a 4th season? And that's clearly what's happened.
And the big news here is that they're not in. Why am I blanking
Hawkins.
on? What is it? I'm sorry.
Hawkins.
Why did I forget that? Hawkins, Indiana. They're not in Hawkins anymore. Ooh. Now, what we were discussing before we went on the air, could this possibly mean? Are they in the Upside Down? Are they in Russia? That's a little bit of a spoiler for you there, Nick.
That's okay.
But I don't know. If
are they following 11? Will and his family?
Don't worry about spoiling anything for me. Everybody else warning spoilers on.
So I know you said that before, but when I spoiled A Star Is Born, you got all your panties in a little bunch.
That was different. I cannot remember the context of that whole issue, but that was different. I said spoil that moment about the dog, and that's what happened.
But it's the whole movie.
But I didn't know it had the whole movie. That's like I didn't know.
We're not getting back into this. We're not doing it.
But now you can. Now I'm giving you free rein to completely spoil anything Stranger Things.
No, I won't do that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's been. I mean, in fairness with the other one, it's been a long time since it came out.
It has, yes.
But
so essentially what's happening there, so the little stinger at the end of season 3, kind of makes me more in than what I originally thought it was. But again, like, are they going to be getting their learner's permits? Like, what's going to be going on here?
Well, I mean,
be having some sacks
theoretically. Well, the problem is the biggest jump, I think, was this past one, right?
Yeah.
Like that was
was the biggest space between.
The biggest time jump.
Yeah.
So. I mean, this could pick up the day after,
right.
Just because, and from what I understand too, they're filming it now. They didn't wait to film like they did with the last one.
Okay, well they know they're up against the clock here.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's a matter of that, and it's a matter of Netflix isn't going to let them wait another year, like they did last time.
So, do you think they'll wrap it up with 4? Do you think could they have just ended it at 3 and been fine with the way the story was?
No.
No, not with the way that they ended it.
You thought they had to have another season?
I think they definitely left it open there.
Gotcha. Okay.
And thoughts on Breaking Bad?
What I was going to say, what they have set it up for is they could always just jump ahead 10, 15, 20 years.
Sure, yeah.
But it's the kids that make the show.
Right.
So.
El Camino.
Breaking Bad. I mean, I'm going to watch this for sure. I don't know if we're going to review it or not, but
Oh, of course you are.
I'm very much in on this just from the trailer alone. Like everything leading up to the trailer, I was like, do we really need this? How good? But the trailer, whoever cut that together, amazing, unbelievable.
So
Fair enough.
the big
Got me in,
speculation
yeah.
going
All right.
into this is whether or not Walter White was still alive.
Right.
And I guess in the trailer, there's a news report playing on the radio that mentions 9 bodies being found, and people have gone back to
rewatch
the
it.
finale of Breaking Bad and counted how many were in the room, and so they're like, well, Walter would make 9.
Okay.
Walter would make.
But I thought at the end, where you have like Aaron Paul, not Aaron Paul. Is that his name?
right.
Aaron Paul,
yeah.
yeah.
I was thinking of Logan Paul.
Paul.
I'm like, yeah, those guys there for a second.
Yeah.
But you hear at the end, there's
Idiots.
like a voice that sounds like Walter White and saying like, "Are you ready?" or something like that, ready to get back to work, or something to that effect. But you don't hear, it's off camera. And I just assumed that was him. That was like the lasting impression.
Kind of like with Palpatine in the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of the speculations for this, is that Walter White is dead, Heisenberg's still alive, and so he just
Someone else becomes Heisenberg.
Jesse Pinkman just becomes Heisenberg.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. I like that. I'm in for it. You got that.
yeah.
You got the
I
kill.
mean,
kill
like,
the
that's just your
Irishman,
drug
the
dealer
Irishman
name.
zone.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Heisenberg. Yeah, you can never kill.
It's the
truly
idea,
kill him.
like Saint Nicholas, can die. Kris Kringle can die, but Santa Claus lives on.
Right.
What do you mean?
It's a spirit.
They're not dead. It's
Well,
the same
that
person.
guy can't leave
same
live a whole
person.
life.
Did you not see the Santa Claus where they like just recruit new people
Thank
to play
you,
Santa
Tim
Claus?
Allen.
Wait a minute, that's real? That's how it works?
Yes.
It depends on what.
Thanks for the warning, guys.
Why do you think that I'm so fat and I grow a beard?
Oh,
I'm
see.
preparing.
I never thought you were fat, Tim. I never looked at you that way.
I'm preparing. I'm
Good
going
to
to be
see
the
you as
first
another
half
human
Jewish
being.
Santa Claus.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, give me some comic book stuff.
Okay, so speaking of Ghost Rider, we have
Yes.
another Ghost. Ghost Rider had a he had a thing going on with like him and Doctor Strange combo. I wasn't reading it, but now
Okay.
Ghost Rider has his own series. Spider-Verse is coming. There's a Spider-Verse story coming out too. Both starting this week. I also saw.
Episodes 1, yeah.
I
Issues 1.
saw. There was something else. Tim, what was the Tales? Not Tales to Astonish, but there was the comic we talked about last time, and it would be like essentially Marvel would re-release
Marvel Tales.
Marvel Tales. There's a Marvel Tales Bishop one for anybody who liked the '90s,
Okay.
the '90s show and everything like that. He's a guy who doesn't get a lot of his own stories, so just a little something different. No One Left to Fight, which is a Dark Horse Comics story that I have talked about. It started, I guess, now 4 months ago because the 4th issue comes out on Wednesday. I have not read it yet. I just read the 3rd one. I was behind on it. Such a good story, an original story. The artwork is awesome. It's like, it's not manga, but it's like kind of what we talked about, Tim, where it's just like the edges, Wes, are very, I just like, I like the detail and the inking when it comes to, and the story is very good too. It's kind of, it's a drama. It's a drama.
Love a good drama.
It's 4 issues in right now, so anybody can pick up on it. I don't know when the trade would necessarily come out. Deathstroke 48 is also out this week. I have read that, so I got to be careful on how I talk about this. Basically, over the last 2 issues, last 3 issues, I had kind of lost faith in Christopher Priest, who might be my favorite writer. I just lost faith in how he was handling the character. He's totally restored it. I am an idiot for ever doubting this guy. He's out after 50, which sucks. But get in on this last run of Deathstroke. I think it's R.I.P. Deathstroke is what it's the overarching title. Get in on that. Definitely worth your time. Deathstroke, I think objectively of all the series that are not mini series type things or one-offs, whatever, this Deathstroke is the best that DC has going on. Maybe the best out of DC and Marvel, period, at this point.
Very interesting.
And that's what I have now for drinking.
So,
sorry.
if I had to read just one.
I'd probably tell you, see, the Deathstroke, the way things started is a little bit frustrating. I'd tell you to read No One Left to Fight.
Okay.
There's
I like the title.
A fair amount of drama in that whole thing. It's different, yeah.
Love a good drama. Is it like a good family drama?
It is, like, you mean for kids?
Well, no, like a
husband and
family
wife?
drama. Yeah, dealing with home issues.
You are definitely dealing with home issues, relationship issues.
Yeah.
Like soap opera-y, but you got like jacked superheroes and stuff dealing with it.
Speaking of like a telenovela,
kind of like.
I want some stories.
Kind of like I wouldn't know a good soap opera, but the characters kind of look like Dragon Ball Z-ish.
Okay.
But not too much manga. Like it's
when you say manga.
That's like the way the artwork is. Like that's the style of art,
Okay.
like Pokemon.
Okay.
That of that vein.
Japanimation.
Yeah, sure. We'll call it that too. That's I'd never heard that term in my life.
Oh,
but yeah.
really? Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, that works. But more importantly,
yes, I'm very excited about.
We have the drinking buddy. So I had two coming in for this. Wes helped me decide very easily, actually, on this one.
No question.
So
the other two, it's a good pairing, but they're two boring characters.
That's part of why I paired them together.
Right,
We may go back to that another time. I made sure this week we didn't have any issues with the age of the characters. No,
good.
Like Fire Fist and Rey and Zendaya of recent episodes. This week we have Han Solo.
Yes.
In Indiana Jones.
Right.
So Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford,
great actor, by the way. Like if there was someone who I would want to be in life, like Harrison Ford,
he's a real life badass too.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's like a rancher.
Got an earring.
Yeah, he's got an earring.
He got an earring when he was like in his late 50s, early 60s.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like that. Like a gold little stud.
Gold hoop, I think.
Oh, the hoop.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's what I used to have. A
little gold hoop. Yeah.
You had an earring?
Mm-hmm.
I just had a single cross that hangs down.
Okay, that's
jangles. Yeah.
That
went well with your mullet.
Yes. Yeah. It was during my George Michael phase. You know. Big George Michael guy.
Well, I guess it would be nice.
Yes. Well, that's a Limp Bizkit song. If we're being honest. No.
It started as a George Michael.
I know, it was a joke. Yeah. I actually found out about that through listening to Limp Bizkit. Like that was.
Really?
Yeah. And Wes just admitted to the world he listened to Limp Bizkit.
I own that album.
We can't pretend anymore. In the late 90s, everybody
loved it. I did it all for the.
I recently went back and listened to Limp Bizkit, and I'm like, why did I why did I hate on this? This is good stuff.
Kid Rock, Korn.
Kid Rock, I was a little
Korn.
Korn. Yeah, that was all stuff.
Jeez.
But we're talking about Han Solo and Indiana Jones.
Exactly.
Right?
So who are we picking between the two to go get a drink with? Wes, do you want to start, or should we throw it to Tim?
So I think this is a fairly easy decision, at least in my book. I love the two choices, but I want someone who I can trust. Someone who is going to be...
I know where you're going then.
Maybe educate me a little bit, but can also take me on a great time, great adventure, possibly. Indiana Jones.
Okay.
Imagine the conversations that you could... And I could feel like he would be like saying this stuff with 100% like truth behind it. Like Han Solo, I feel like he would just be a bunch of malarkey he's thrown my way.
You don't think that Indiana Jones is at all condescending? You wouldn't worry about being judged at any point?
Yeah, but he's fatherly, though. You know, because like, I actually went back and watched The Crystal Skull, which was like the one with Shia LaBeouf.
You did?
Yeah, and I kind of enjoyed it.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean,
but you know,
I wouldn't go back and watch it though. That's kind of more my point.
It was on Netflix. I was like, I haven't seen this. Okay, so it's on there.
And people who crap on Crystal Skull, like, you have no business propping up Temple of Doom.
It's
pretty much
the same
thing.
movies, right? Yeah.
Like it's not as good as Raiders.
No,
but it's still Indiana
not.
Jones, and that's how Crystal Skull is. It's not as good, but it's still Indiana Jones. Last Crusade was really good.
Yes.
So that kind of ruined any Indiana Jones after it.
Last Crusade was the first one or the
third one?
Third one.
The one with Sean Connery.
Okay, and the first one was the
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yep. I knew Temple of Doom was second. Okay.
So Indiana Jones.
But Temple of Doom comes first in the storyline. It's a prequel to Raiders.
Oh.
So that's how they get you.
Okay. I never knew that as a kid, so I just never put two and two together. Tim, who are you picking, Han Solo or Indiana Jones?
Indiana Jones.
Really?
1,000%. I don't think he would be as willing to educate you as you're giving him credit for.
Too condescending.
I think he would be kind of annoyed.
No, I think he would want to tell stories about himself. And I would be there to listen.
I think that he would, but I think what happens with Indiana Jones is he instructs you almost begrudgingly. Like in the moment where it has to happen, and then all of a sudden the information just comes flowing out. Like when it's like, he's never going to warn you ahead of time that you might run into this artifact. Mm-hmm. He's going to wait until like you're 5 minutes away from dying because of that artifact. Then he's going to tell you all about it.
Right. Okay, I can see that, but I also think that he, has a lot of heart. Like he has this tough exterior that he doesn't really like on the outside, doesn't really like people, but he does. That's what I think about Shia LaBeouf. Before he finds out that that's his son, spoiler alert.
Oh my God.
He's like, oh, you're a cool kid. You go out and do what you want. And then as soon as he finds out that it's his son, suddenly he's like, no, you got to be on the straight and narrow. You got to go to college, kid. Mm-hmm. I think that's he means well at the end of it.
I think that you'd need to have someone write "love you" on your eyelids.
You could do that.
He'd probably then have a little bit more respect.
He's a little misogynistic.
It was the 1940s.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
But,
I'm picking. Okay, let me ask you guys something. When you want to hear a good story, who usually has the best stories? The people that get in the most trouble, right?
Sure, yeah.
Absolutely. No question in my mind. So why wouldn't I want to hang out with Han Solo? Is he going to maybe embellish a little bit? Yeah, but how am I going to know?
Like, didn't we find out in the Solo movie that, at the poker match, didn't exactly go the way that he said it was?
Yeah, maybe. It's and then what's the parsec thing? He flew. What was that? He flew.
He made the Kessel Run another 12 parsecs.
12
That's
parsecs.
it, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was all, it's not all as glorious as he makes it out to be, but they're entertaining stories, and I'm sure he has plenty other ones between. Although I don't know how the math exactly works out when you look at how old he was in that movie and where it was in the grand scheme of things. But anyway. I mean, I think he'd have a lot of good stories to tell. And honestly, if I'm going out drinking with somebody, I am more than happy. I've told you this before. With just sitting back, listening to what you have to say. Is he gonna like me? Hell no. But that's just Harrison Ford, I think, at the end of it all. But I think the difference between him and Indy is Indy will get annoyed a little bit more easily with you asking questions about the stories, whereas Han is just going to look at it as more of an opportunity to continue to further his big head and grow it.
And Indy's a straight shooter. He tells it like it is. He wears his heart on his sleeve.
And
I respect that. Yeah.
I'm talking about a drinking buddy. I'm not talking about my a guy who I'm going to trust to do a show with.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but if I'm going to in anything, I just want someone to tell me like it is. If I got a piece of lettuce in my teeth, I want someone to tell me that I have lettuce in my teeth.
Well, okay.
I know we're almost an hour in the episode here. You're just telling me this now.
I'm sorry. You can't trust me. I'm like Han Solo. But anyways,
who would you rather have in a bar fight? In your corner.
Ooh. You know what? That's a tough one. I want to say Han Solo because he's so quick with that blaster.
Yeah.
But if he didn't bring his gun in, then I'm taking Indy, no questions asked.
And also Han Solo is more prone to just run away.
Yes.
You can't be sure he's definitely going to stay and defend you.
No, he
Indy likes to fight.
Well, see, and my point, I'm going with Indiana Jones here, is that anyone can shoot a gun. Bring a gun up in there, I can shoot a gun. Most places you probably won't be able to bring a gun into unless you're a Texas license to carry. I'm not sure if Han Solo has that credentials.
Or at a bar in Tatooine.
Right. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, depending on where we're going. Indy, though, you could bring a rope anywhere. Hey, I just got a rope.
It's not a rope. It's a bullwhip.
Wow. Okay. Well,
yeah, but you could just say it's a rope.
Yeah.
I get what he's going for.
Keep people at bay. I'm a big believer in going back to the 3v3 thing. Like I want my distance between you.
Don't forget, Indy carries a concealed permit too, though.
He does. He did have a gun. Yes. Yeah.
So that whole scene, how that happened, why that happened, right?
No.
There was supposed to be like an actual fight between Indiana Jones and that other character, the one with the sword. That's like.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be a fight scene, but they ran out of time and couldn't choreograph it.
Oh, that's what
so
it was.
they just improvised that scene where he just pulls the gun out and shoots him.
That's awesome.
I didn't know
It's like Batman 89. And the guy comes out with all the different knives and everything, and then Batman says,
So the other important question that we have to ask in all this, too, is what do these two characters drink? I believe we've seen what Indy drinks, and I
Is it like single malt scotch?
I think that's...
No ice, just like a little, 2 or 3 fingers worth?
I think that's pretty damn accurate, Wes.
I think that's it. Which I'm on board for.
If that's not what it is, it's what it should be.
Right.
And again, you are doing a good job of picking a guy who at least might consider paying for your drink.
Again.
There is no shot in hell my guy's paying for his drink.
No. In
Or
fact,
mine.
you guys are probably doing a dine and ditch.
Bitch, I'm not opposed to necessarily trying
Good
that.
story.
Yeah, great story. Yep, absolutely. Hey, I did a dine
Wait a minute. Hold on. We're forgetting the biggest reason why you might want to drink with Indiana Jones. He might have the Holy Grail.
It's true. Oh, the cup runneth over.
You could be getting, everlasting life by choosing to drink with Indiana Jones.
Right. Yeah. Or the crystal skull. You get to talk to the aliens.
I think I'm all set.
But
with that.
all we got to do is hit up our friend in the Berkshires here.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, exactly.
Really,
I think Han Solo would
it's a
probably
callback.
be a bourbon person.
Han Solo,
probably.
yeah.
If I'm going with like a non-space.
I think just Harrison Ford. I think brown liquor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just don't let Indy bring the food. Remember Temple of Doom? Chilled monkey brains.
Oh yes, yes, and and if you're in a snake fight, Indiana Jones.
Yeah, you're screwed.
He's not. He's running.
Yeah, yeah.
You
No
want
shot.
Han Solo all
Oh my
day.
God! What if you're on Tatooine and there's like snake-headed
snake pit?
aliens?
Right.
Oh,
You're
forget it.
toast.
Screwed.
Probably is Greedo close enough to a snake that
I
Indy
don't
would be out?
I think you would take care of Greedo.
He'd take
pretty
care of
easily.
Greedo. Okay. Would he shoot first? That was the real question. Anyway, Wes, we've being apart from each other for 2 weeks since you got married.
Yeah, it has been.
I'm sure there's been a lot on your mind.
There has been. First, I would say that there's a lot of Southerners and Midwesterners at all-inclusive resorts in the Caribbean.
Okay.
Now, did you say Caribbean or Caribbean?
It depends on the day.
It
to be
really
honest.
does.
Yeah.
I think I said Caribbean earlier to you, and I just said Caribbean now.
Yeah.
It all depends on what the pop cultural reference is for it.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
It's Pirates of the
Right.
Caribbean, but if it's the song, it's Caribbean Queen.
What song is that?
You don't
Caribbean Sea.
Caribbean Queen.
Oh, yeah.
What's
there
his
we
name?
go.
Billy
That's
Ocean.
good, actually. That's really good. Good falsetto.
I do have a good falsetto's the only way I can sing.
Yeah, that's it.
But I've heard it pronounced all different ways, like even in the Caribbean.
Right, yeah. So it's like, I don't know. But the Southerners and Midwesterners, way too much. I get, Jules and I were saying that the innate Northeast elitism in us just came oozing out. There was like no... Like everyone always talks about like that, like the East Coast like always dominates the news cycle. No one cares about Chicago or LA or anything. It's like it's all along that Northeast corridor between DC and Boston, and everything that happens there is the hub of the United States, and nothing else matters. Everything else is a joke. I really felt that.
Really?
Yeah, like there could have been very successful doctors and architects and all this other stuff out there, but because you had like a twang in your accent, I'm like, get out of here, nerd.
Oh, come on, Wes. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't.
No, we did make some friends,
Good.
reluctantly, and this is another reason why I love my wife, is that we both looked at each other on the first day. We're like, I don't really want to make friends. I don't really want to do it.
I can understand that, especially when you're on your honeymoon. You just want to hang out.
Yeah, like, no, get away from me.
Yeah, no.
No.
I didn't come here to talk to
Honeymoon or
strangers.
not, you're on
That's fine.
vacation.
That's
Right.
fine.
If you wanted friends, you would have brought them with you.
Exactly. Now we did,
Except
hot
you-
tub it a couple times with a couple of people, a couple very nice Southerners from Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
One of whom actually gave us a portion of their wedding cake. They got married down there and couldn't send it back.
You should make
delicious
friends
cake.
though with a particular bartender or a particular server.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We did.
Yeah, you got to make friends with one of them because that's how you
that's
get all the
good
inside
advice.
info.
Well, at the inclusive resorts, the food there was phenomenal. By the way better than I expected it to be. But it was, a lot of like plastic drinks, a lot of fruity stuff. So like by the end of it, like I just wanted like a nice bourbon. She wanted a dirty martini, and we found this nice bar that was on premise with this like great bartender. Don the Magic Wand is what I ended up calling him. And he's just great. We go see him every day before every meal,
Smart man.
dinner meal that we would have. That have
Smart
a couple
man.
drinks in our system.
But you're not wanting to make friends on vacation like that. I totally understand.
Well, we
that.
just saw a lot of people just kind of like getting. I'm like, nah, get away from me, nerd.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you.
I don't know if I
I
just.
don't care how many horses you wrangled this week.
I mean,
The worst question somebody can ask you on vacation. So, what do you do?
Right.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
that is a terrible question.
You know what I do? I go on vacation. That's
To
what I'm
not
doing.
talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also the thing about like everyone hating Boston is also a real thing too, because no one liked when I said I was from Boston. Everyone just assumed I was a Patriots fan, which I was, but no one wanted to hear that. People hated me because I was a Red Sox fan. There was like some sort of event show that was going on that I got called up into, and they're like, "What's your name? Where are you from?" And everyone else was like Indianapolis and everything, and they all got the woos in the crowd. And then I said Massachusetts, and then they're like, no one from Massachusetts, and it was just the one person clapping, which was Julia, who was sitting in the. Yeah, it was just.
At least she did that. By your 10th anniversary, and you're doing the same trip, she's gonna be like, I don't know this guy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like no one cared, and it's like everyone just thinks like a masshole. Like that.
Yeah, you have to
thing.
fully own it.
Yeah.
Is if you're going to go somewhere. See, you don't have a Boston accent. So you don't have to worry about it. But if you did, you have to fully own it and like turn it up to 11.
I know.
Call everybody guy and kid and just wear like Patriots jerseys and Red Sox t-shirts.
Hey, dude.
I went
guy?
I went on a cruise. My last cruise was Boston and Bermuda, and so everybody on the ship was a masshole. Mm-hmm. And they were all walking around like that. And I would go around and find people that were like not from Massachusetts, and I would apologize. For the other people. And it got to the point where every night some jerk off would get up there and karaoke and do Sweet Caroline, and they do the and they're so good, which literally makes me want to drop a bomb on.
Well, that's how you know.
I shouldn't say that because
really,
somebody was actually going to do that. But
that's how you know they're not really Bostonians, though, and that's how you know it's all an act.
Yeah. No, real Bostonians do that now.
No, they hate that song.
No. I wish.
I disagree.
I wish that was the case.
I disagree.
I don't hate that song. I don't hate
the song. I hate what they've done to the song. I used to love the song till they ruined it.
Yeah.
And I hate the Dropkick
There were
Murphys.
definitely times when we were on the road. There were definitely okay. First of all, my walkout song in college, 3 out of the 4 years was a Dropkick Murphy song.
Well, at the time though, that's appropriate, but now it's just played out.
And then
I hated them at that time too.
When I was when they would play Sweet Caroline whenever we were on the road or anywhere, the second that song came on, I'd go bom bom bom. But I do it to piss everybody off because they all hated the Red Sox too.
Yeah,
because that is real.
It's a real thing.
There was a time where it was cool to be from Massachusetts. When I was in Chicago, at least, to be from Massachusetts. For me, people
before all the winning started happening.
I think it was before it
before Barstool
ridiculous.
blew up.
Yeah, I mean,
people associate Barstool and Boston.
When the Town came out, I got so much love out there in Chicago. My freshman year, oh my God, people loved
like they thought this like kid from Westport was somehow like a badass from Southie.
That's exactly what they thought it was like.
Yeah.
And then I would try and turn the accent up. I still had it. I had it more back then than I do now. I barely have it now.
Drinks in me, I can kind of pull it out. I have to use the F word. I can say the F word perfectly in the Boston accent, so I have to pepper that in like every other word. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, I don't really have a strong accent.
When I start talking really fast is when like faster than normal. That's when it kind of comes out.
Meanwhile, people are listening to this and are gonna like write emails and be like, "You guys all have the worst Boston accents. What are you talking about?"
Yeah, exactly.
No. Right now, it's
No, but we don't hear it. Like we're like, "Oh no, you don't have a Boston accent." But somebody will be like, "You have a terrible Boston accent."
Well, as Wes knows, my buddy Matt has a
very very thick accent too.
Yes,
yeah,
and he's from Westport too.
I worked very hard to get rid of mine.
4 years in Chicago, I mean, you ruined it.
When people tell me I have one, I'm like, shut up, no, I don't.
Yeah, you don't have
exactly.
one. No. And you don't. And Wes, I don't.
Not really.
Did I ever play you the YouTube clip from when I called into Mike Adams' Sports World?
No.
I sound wicked Boston.
I
can't remember if I was doing it.
Guy.
I don't know if I was doing it as a joke or if I really did talk that way back then.
Probably.
I think I talked that way.
Other thing that's on my mind. Out of U.S. Netflix is better than U.S. Netflix.
Oh, because you were technically out of the country?
Well, yeah, I was out of the country.
Is that, I don't know if Bermuda
so it's a British islands.
Oh, okay.
But, so
you had
we
the
were
access
watching
to
like
that.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine because like the reception was really shoddy on the TV. Like it kept going like there was something, and we just didn't want to call maintenance or whatever to get it fixed. So we would watch Netflix in the morning and night and stuff. And got through like a season and a half of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Love that show. I was like,
show.
I can't wait to go bring this back. I just assumed that was like a new update for September or something like that. Gone. Not there. All the movies that were like War Dogs was on there. A couple of other good movies were on there. And I'm like, I can't wait to come back. They have all this good stuff. And it's like, gone. Very bland. It's all like original content on US. It's less movies, less like TV shows that have been like syndicated or whatever on network television. It's all more of that out of U.S.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There's a huge movement right
That's
now
BS.
where people are fighting Netflix to have them not put stuff on, take stuff off, put stuff on, take stuff off, and to have the more movies be available because they have them, they just don't make them available.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, well,
I just thought it
server
was the
space and blah
algorithm.
blah 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 blah. But no, it's like you could have every movie available at any given time.
They really?
You could. You just have more servers. We're paying them enough money a month that they could have more servers.
You would think, right? Everybody has Netflix.
Now the problem is there's going to be the broadcast agreements will run out, but there's no reason why if they still have the rights to something that they shouldn't still have it be available.
Just keep it
Right.
running.
They're
That's
just
the
just
thing.
playing a shitty game doing that.
Yeah.
But if you need to find Brooklyn Nine-Nine, check the NBC app. I believe they have it for free.
Oh, okay.
Because all the people from it was a Fox show, so all the people that watch NBC didn't get to see the first 3 seasons or 4 seasons, whatever it was. So I
see.
think they
So
made
they're
them
like-
available for free.
I see.
That's
One of the
nice.
things I did watch, Between Two Ferns, the movie. I wonder if you ever watched that on Funny or Die, those clips there with Zach Galifianakis.
I did. I heard the movie's pretty funny.
The movie's funny. The bloopers are the best part, which kind of says something about it, but it's hysterical. It's a very funny movie. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
What do you got?
Oh, I thought you had one more thing.
Well, I got one more thing. I thought we
Yeah.
could just kind of go back and forth, though, a little
You
bit.
picked okay, fine. All right.
I know. I said 3 things, and I we can go back and forth.
So, Peaky Blinders is
Yes.
back on Netflix for season 4.
It's 4 seasons, but do they have 2 seasons already out? Like, is this the second season that it's been on Netflix, though? When you said season 4, that really threw me off.
There are 4 seasons on Netflix.
Okay, all right, but did they release, like, the first 3?
They've been out.
Yeah.
They've been out on Netflix for a while.
Oh, has it? I feel like I just heard about it, like Peaky Blinders, the show, like within like the last year or two.
Well, so I think Peaky Blinders is one of those shows when the first season came out, it didn't really wow people. There were people that liked it.
Okay.
And then the second season, there was a foundation
up.
set,
Yeah,
and then
right.
that kind
Okay,
of helped
okay.
people. Yeah, because I think I came on in the second season.
Okay.
With it, and it was all on Netflix. I think it's a BBC original show.
Yeah,
At least
yeah.
it definitely started over there. But the issue is, and this is why I wouldn't recommend it to US, is you need the subtitles for the show.
Yeah, I tried watching it and I couldn't do it.
The thing is, with the exclusion of Tom Hardy's character, who I think comes up in the second season, I could be wrong, maybe sooner than that, but with the exception of him, it's pretty much you need it for like one word for every line of dialogue, for every like sentence that someone
Right.
says. With Tom Hardy, you need it for everything he says because you don't like it all the time. You don't know exactly what he's saying.
What's with the hands? That's the second time you've done that with the hands when you're using that accent.
With the Tom Hardy thing, I
Yeah.
think it helps me kind of get into the
Oh,
you're
yeah.
talking like that because then I can't really do it. I don't know. It's,
That looks like a certain clip of Donald Trump mocking someone else. It's like you doing Donald Trump mocking someone else. Yeah.
But anyway, I love that show. I understand getting annoyed with having subtitles. Like I watched the show and enjoyed it without the subtitles, but then once I put it in, I was like, oh my god, all right, this is perfect.
I'm not watching a TV show to read it. That's how I
I'm
stand
telling
on
you,
that.
you'd say like, oh,
As a
wait,
man
what'd she
of
say? And then
principle,
you
I'd
look down
refuse.
one word, and then I know that's so on brand for you, though. Wes.
That's
That
it.
is like
I'm a man of principle. This is how I feel about it. You're not going to change my mind about it. I appreciate the offer.
I tried changing.
I know. But I tried watching it though. I did try.
I highly
do it.
recommend it to anybody who's not like Wes when it comes to that of principle. If you're like willing to throw that all out the window and you don't want to read for a show, I highly recommend it.
I'm going to throw in a quick one.
Yeah.
On my mind. The Turner Classic Movies Halloween Horror Fest has started. So all the great horror movies start Thursday. They've started running some already, but they're not really great ones. The really good ones start Thursday night. Just 2 that I wanted to recommend people check out. Thursday, October 17th at 8 p.m., The Uninvited from 1944. One of the coolest, creepiest, slow burn horror movies that you'll find out there. Very underappreciated. And then actually on Halloween Day, on Thursday, October 31st, at 3:30 a.m., you have the original Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh,
which,
really?
You know who made his film debut in that movie?
I do not.
Jack Nicholson.
Paul
And
Rudd.
then no, Jack Nicholson. And then at 6:45 a.m. they're going to have a movie on that I want you guys to check out if you can. I don't know if you have Turner Classic Movies, but it's called Freaks.
Freaks.
And it's Todd Browning's movie from 1932. He was the director of Frankenstein. He came out with this movie in 1932, and he used real carnival sideshow freaks as the actors in this movie.
Okay.
It's very disturbing, even today. And we always talk about the X-Men, and we talk about mutants and about how they were, treated by the rest of society. Freaks is the movie that really kind of started that trope.
That sounds rough.
I like that. Okay.
That sounds scary.
It is kind of a hard watch. Like, not only from the horror perspective, but in watching just these people and being like they're kind of being exploited. In American Horror Story, they had the Pinhead character in the Freak Show season. This movie has real life actual pinheads in it. It's not makeup.
Oh God,
it's tough. Okay.
So
they got another American Horror Story, I think, coming out too, right? 84.
Yeah, it already started. I've heard mixed reviews. People keep complaining that the acting is so cheesy, but that's intentional because it's supposed to be like 1980s teen slasher flicks.
Yeah,
I see.
I haven't caught up.
That show looks friggin' terrifying every goddamn time.
One last thing I got here is It's Always Sunny season 14 debuted this past week. So happy to have one of my favorite shows back on TV. It's not what it used to be. It's not what it was in its peak, but it's still very enjoyable. It's nice comfort. Like I've said about so many other shows, I just feel like I'm hanging out with my friends when I'm watching this show.
So when it was at its peak, what would you roughly ballpark it as on a rating? Like in the 90s?
High 90s, 95 and up.
Okay, now where would you put it?
Mid 80s.
And where has it bottomed out at?
Low 80s?
Low 80s?
Yeah.
So what season would that be, would you say, roughly?
I don't know.
I'm
if
putting you on the
there's
spot.
Past season, maybe the one before.
The one before, okay.
Right, where...
So 12.
Like the gang goes on a cruise and that stuff, and like the gang hits the slopes, like that season. Like that was one of the best episodes from that season.
Was that the same season though that started with the gang turns black?
Yes,
and
I believe
then
so.
the gang goes to the water park.
Yes,
2 classics back to back.
Yeah, but it's just different. I don't know. It's just not what it used to be.
Yeah, well, it got to the point now where it's more about referencing jokes that they've made earlier in the series.
Right.
So it's not that, now they've become a thing.
They've established the jokes. Our group will get that. Like, I think I saw one of the episodes is supposed to be, I don't know if it's like Lethal Weapon 7 or what was the movie that they hang dong in?
Boogie Nights?
No, like in It's Always Sunny. Like they all go, like they're going to go see some like movie, like some action movie. And like the main character hangs dong in it.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. But I can't think.
It's
of
like that. It's like that sequel to that movie.
I don't need another Charlie McDennis episode.
No, I don't. No.
All right, the last 2 things that I have. One, Titans season 2 is out. If you have DC Universe app, I'm sure you've already started watching it. I'm going to get in on it. I will let you guys know how it is.
Yeah.
I've said before with the first season of Titans, I can't go and justify saying get the app for this show. The thing is, if you're interested in getting into comics, and you're like, maybe I want this show, then the DC Universe app is perfect for you because you have like this unbelievable like slew of like the Rebirth, and there's so much other stuff too. Like I've been able to catch up on Wonder Woman a little bit on. I'm behind on my reading a lot. I'm getting the reviews done, but remember how I started The Darkness? Remember I told you about that?
Yeah.
I just finished that Sunday.
Brother Darkness.
It took me way too long to finish that, but it's just been busy. But the other thing is, what was it? Oh, so I noticed this. I've been noticing this recently.
I'm interested in what you got to say about this.
So, Wild Turkey in Lincoln, right?
Okay. Yeah, I know the Lincoln, yeah.
Yes, so Wild Turkey is the one where he has like that Testify song. I forget the singer that he does it with. But Matthew McConaughey, I feel like I see him constantly on my TV now for commercials.
It's easy money.
He is on... I like him in the movies. There's sometimes where it's like, okay, we get it. But there are other times where I really enjoy him. I think he's perfect for commercials. He just plays such a cool, like, I'm the man, and I kind of know it, but I'm not going to let you know too much that I think my shit doesn't stink.
Okay.
Like, I know it seems kind of maybe oddly specific or weird.
No, I get what you're saying there.
I would love to hang out with Matthew McConaughey for a night.
You should watch the first 5 minutes of Between Two Ferns. He's the first guest they interviewed.
Or the entire first season of True Detective.
Right, or that as well.
Yeah.
Which you still have not seen.
So I have True Detective, Stranger Things, and Always Sunny.
You got a lot on your plate.
Matthew McConaughey, Rust Cole.
Yes.
It's like Matthew McConaughey on steroids.
That character?
Yes.
It's his perfect one.
He made a great movie. I forget the name of it. I think it was called Mud.
Oh yeah,
Is that the one I'm thinking of?
I know what you're talking about.
Where he lives on the
yeah.
island in the middle of the like Texas River or something. You would like that movie. Really good McConaughey movie.
I think if I had to pick one person to be my drinking buddy for like just for a weekend,
He'd be a good one.
he might be the one that I would just
Although
pick.
he may make you smoke some pot.
I might do it for McConaughey.
I'm just saying.
I might break that
You'd be like,
code.
He'd be like,
Fellas,
hey,
I have to
Nick,
leave
you
because
wanna-
I've had to pee
you want
since
some of this?
Okay.
like
All
30
right.
minutes into the show.
Go pee. I will close it out real quick. Oh, just Jesus, Wes. So
I've been doing the
He never heard the phrase "go before we leave."
yeah. So regarding next week's show, one of two things: we'll either be talking Rotten Tomatoes, and something why they suck because we love doing that, or we're going to be talking the Joker. So make sure if you guys can go see that. If we talk about it, we'll probably do a little bit of a spoiler-free just because it's the first week after it came out, or it came out. It's going to come out that weekend. But other than that, we will talk to you guys again next week. Got to play the music, Nick.